So it looks as though Giselle and Karen wanted Stacy to kiss the ring in this episode. Stacy said, "Don't play with me, play with your mother." Yes, ma'am, Stacy. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 9, episode 16. Finally, we get a good episode. I said, wow. I said, come on, right before the season finale. Before we get into this recap, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support my channel and also let YouTube know that I am here and that you all are rocking with my commentary, so YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers just like you. That being said, let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Oh, before we get into this recap, I have some quick church announcements, okay? I was at the Kempire DC show.
I'm out here in these streets.
Huge shout out to Kempire. Huge shout out to We Go Podcast, aka Taria, who was the MC of the night and it was so kind, so beautiful, and so warm. And a huge shout out to the Scotch Bonnets who came up to me before and after the show. But y'all, here's the tea. I met Stacy at the show. She came as just like a supporter of Kempire. She wasn't a part of the show or anything like that, but he asked her up on the stage. She was a great sport about it. She went up on stage.
Just us. Okay. Just us. Because we're homegirls. Okay, no one, we can't talk about this. Okay.
We promise. Right, everyone?
Yeah! No one's recording this, right? No! So, regarding my relationship with TJ, you will absolutely find out at the reunion.
Now, of course, you know, Bonnie Scotch was in the building. I had to go up there and say my piece. Now, I did introduce myself to Stacy. I let her know that I was a fan and that I reviewed the show. But when I went to make my listener comment / statement, because I didn't have a question, I just wanted to let her know. Here's what I told her in so many words. It started off really great, and then things kind of went off the rails. I told her that she was Barbie and that he's Ken, and that I didn't believe that it was a good idea for him to come on this show to try to get exposure. I believe that he should be taking improv classes and doing something other than wearing a dancehall queen blouse to entice Bravo Andy. I don't think that she was a fan of that comment, even though the crowd was a fan of that comment. I just hate to see a beautiful woman being taken advantage of, and it gave me that she is still with this man. She's still carrying on with him, and this is real. This is real. It doesn't give me storyline. It gives me, she was really offended by what I had to say. And it's like, when y'all bring these men up here and they act this way and we respond, what do you want? What do you want the response to be? Like, oh, we love you, we're champion of this relationship. We're not. We don't advocate for this relationship. We don't advocate for women being dogged out and, you know, being stuck in these pathetic relationships, which we have plenty to discuss in this episode. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it, shall we? So we pick up this episode where we left off. Karen is confronting Mia about Gordon having this paternity test done. She's saying that Mia is lying. Mia is firing back and saying, well, you have a DUI and you sleep around. And then we have Giselle in her confessional talking about, I don't know why Mia is bringing up the fact that Karen has a DUI and that she sleeps around. We all know that she's a drunk driver. We all know that she sleeps around and has affairs. Oh, Giselle is coming through with the tea from the sidelines, from the confessionals, because I don't want to hear anything about Karen and Giselle having a friendship. This is not a friendship. what Karen and Giselle have is more of an alliance, okay? They have an alliance with each other. They have an agreement with each other. That is not friendship. Imagine one of your friends to your face is sticking up for you, but behind closed doors, on camera, is telling folks, girl, we all know that she has affairs. We all know she's a drunk driver. I hope the judge was listening to that. Giselle said what it is. I said, oh, some friend, honey. Stacy is taking Mia to the side because she feels as though Karen should have pulled Mia to the side to, discuss what she learned with Gordon. I mean, to discuss what she learned with Ray. I don't believe that it is Karen's place to tell Stacy that she is taking sides here. I do think it's kind of childish. Karen always wants somebody to take her side, but she doesn't want to take sides. She always wants to be Switzerland. She always wants to be neutral. That's why I'm not siding with Karen on this, because you are neutral in every other situation, but when it comes to you, everybody has to be right or die. And I say, F that. Listen, I've been a fan of Karen. Karen is a fan favorite. I've liked Karen, but Karen has some colorist ways. She does. She does. She tried to get Candace fired, and she said that Wendy didn't fit the aesthetic of Potomac. We're going to circle back to that conversation later. But Karen has the most expectations of everybody else, and she moves really funny when it comes to other people that she expects allegiance from. So I'm going to just put that out there like that. I just feel like for Karen to know how she was conducting herself in her own heart, in her own mind. I mean, listen, who knows? She could have forgotten that entire drunk night. But I know that she saw that webcam footage when she was, going through whatever she was going through with these lawyers. Karen, knowing what she knows and seeing that body cam footage, for you to still be acting like this, for you to still have your ass up on your shoulders and expect everybody to come to your defense and, oh, you need to prove to me that you're a friend, girl. Shut up, Karen. Wait, it is time for Ashley's drag show. Do y'all know who Ashley reminds me of when she is in male drag and she's dancing like, her interpretation of a man? Do y'all remember that commercial from back in the day? It's a very old commercial. It was a Six Flags commercial. It was a little old bald-headed man. He had on glasses, and he would throw his cane to the side, and the music was like dun 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 dun. And he had the most unhinged, feral kind of dance energy, and that is exactly how Ashley dances. I was actually disturbed watching her dance. It was appropriate for a drag show, but when she whipped her titties out in front of Uncle Lump, I said, whoa, oh, that one, that was a shocker for me. I understand doing it in front of the women in your family, because it's like, okay, titties, women, but in front of your uncle, it was just like a little bit, you could tell Uncle Lump was, he was doing his best to be supportive. You could just tell he was a little uncomfortable seeing his niece's titties. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was still being supportive, but he was like visibly uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable along with him. Ashley did her thing. As a performer, it's always hard to get up there and give a show. But I think that Ashley did a great job in entertaining the people. She did exactly what is supposed to be done at a drag show, okay? Yeah. So now we have Karen, Kiana, Giselle, and Ashley meeting up for lunch. I don't know why Ashley was there. Karen is still going on about how Mia is a liar. Karen, you're a liar too, girl. Y'all are both some liars. Again, it's just strange that Ashley is here and that Kiana is sharing her intimate business about her relationship with Ashley. I'm just like, this is your enemy at the table. I don't care what nobody says. I get that they're cool now. I get that they made up, whatever. But I'm just like, Ashley is not your friend, Kiana. That's all I want to say about that. So Kiana says that it's important for her to be a part of this group and that Uggams McGee does not understand that she really wants his support. Meanwhile, she's supporting his business, promoting his business, working for free at his establishment. While she's there, the people in his establishment are looking at her crazy. And she's over there trying to help him. Also, she's got her spa set up in the rich district where the money resides. So you are spending money when you're in that area. Hello? Everything about her is polished. She has so much polish about her. For her to go from salon to spa owner, she does have a business savvy. She is smart. She is a go-getter. She is super ambitious. But then you have, Greg, who is demeaning and diminishing her and not being supportive. You look at her establishment, clean, pristine. You look at his, it gives dingy, dusty, frowsy government office, food stamp office. That's what it looks like when you go to his spot. Anyway, Giselle and Karen are giving really great advice, and they are being extremely supportive. Giselle says, do not dim your light for a relationship, for a man. Kay is saying, I hope that we can work through this. What is there to work through, girl? Why do you want to work through a relationship with a man who is telling you that he doesn't want to support you? Why do you want to fight fire? Being willing to self-betray for a man, an ugly man at that, at this big age, it's just wild to me. So then we have Mia going to meet up with Ink. Ink is saying that Gordon texted him about the paternity test. By the way, Mia's new confessional look in this episode, jump scare. Jump scare. I said, what's going on? What is on her head? Oh, Kiana had a new confessional look, by the way. Very pretty. Very pretty. The black one and this deep red maroon burgundy look, gorgeous. Fantastic. The braid, the texture, fabulous. Then we have Ink saying, why does Gordon have to be a priority every time we make a decision? Sister, that's Mia's husband. That's her baby daddy. What are we saying here? Is Ink okay? Ink is not okay because he's with Mia. But are you good? Anyway, next up we have Stacy down to this animal shelter with Ashley. She is planning a charity fashion show for the animals. Great cause, okay? One thing that confused me, though, was Ashley telling Stacy that her hair looked so good. Was there a reason for the change? All she did was run a flat iron through her wig. Did there need to be a reason for her to change her hair? Black women do this all the time, Ashley. What are we saying here? I'm trying not to call people stupid. I'm really, really trying. So then we have Stacy still holding firm to waiving her rights to child support, which is just so ridiculous and airheaded in my opinion. Next up we have Kiana and Uggams McGee driving to go get some lunch together. She's talking to him. He is ignoring her, looking exasperated. He's like, it gives that he doesn't want to talk on camera, but you're filming, so just don't film. Why show up and be an asshole? He looks exasperated. He's brushing her off. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. He's visibly annoyed while this woman is trying to have a conversation with him. Whew. Kay says that the things that she aspires to do, she still wants to do them, and she just wants Greg to recognize that. She also says in the restaurant while they are sitting down together that they have come a long way. I said, if y'all have come a long way and this is where y'all are, where were y'all before? You come a long way from what, sis? You're in the trenches now. You're in hell now. You're literally in the seventh circle of hell. Oh my God, you're in denial. You're in denial. And then you were telling these girls in Panama, oh, Greg is my fun. We have fun together, and he planned this trip for me as a sponsor. He doesn't give that he does anything nice for you. He doesn't give that he's a nice person. He's not a sweetheart. He's not any of those things. What is the appeal? What's the draw? It's hard to watch somebody in their late 30s like this because it's like at some point we get hip to our patterns and realize like we are dating the same type of toxic man with the same type of pattern. I'll be honest with y'all. In my dating experience, I have dated men like Greg, which they don't act like that at first. They slowly start to show that jealous side of them. The sabotage comes apparent. Kiana is so clearly sleeping with her enemy, sleeping with the enemy, sleeping with somebody who hates her, who can't stand her, who is threatened by her success, who wants to humble her. Now, I have been in this situation in my 20s. You ignore those red flags, and then you go to therapy and you start to realize, like, oh, okay, these are my patterns. These are learned behaviors, childhood, from trauma, from whatever, because we learned that our earliest relationships kind of set the stage for how we are treated. We do all of this unpacking, we go through all of the trauma, and we're like, okay, we're going to choose different, and then eventually we start choosing different. That has been a bit of my process since starting therapy in my early 20s. I had come out of a really insane relationship where I experienced somebody trying to humble me. As I went on through relationships, it became more apparent the more guys that I dealt with. I would catch it a little faster each time. I was like, oh, that's that behavior that I've already dealt with. But it would show up in different ways. It's not always the same. You catch little things, right? It's the negging. It's the picking you apart when you're hanging out with your friends or you're experiencing love from your friends and they make a comment like, oh, you're just a social butterfly, aren't you? It's that negging. It's the little chipping away at your confidence, at your self-esteem, and you start to catch on a little faster. Obviously, every woman is not going to have this experience. We all come into our understanding a little bit later. My hope for Kiana at this time is that after watching all of this, she will get hip to what is actually going on. This is not a relationship to work through. This is not anything to work through. You need to dump this man and you need to run, because what he is doing right now, I'm not saying he's doing irreparable damage. I'm just saying that he is doing damage to your self-esteem, to your confidence. He is eroding. He is chipping away at your confidence in front of all of us. You're telling him that you feel like you shrink around him. You're telling him that you feel like he is dismissive of your feelings and you really need him to be supportive. And he says, I'm not dismissive at all. He's literally invalidating you while you are expressing yourself. That is an issue. I hope that watching this back that you can really get it together, girl, because this is some of the most pathetic shit that I've ever seen on TV. I hate to see a bad bitch go out like this. I really, really do. It looks crazy. She says, I want to feel completely seen by you. I always want to feel safe with you. I want you to see the value in me. She's literally begging this man to see value in her, and he's like, all right. She starts crying. She has to ask him for a tissue. He doesn't even console her. He's like, oh, brother, here we go with the tears. What? Can I be honest with y'all about something else? Dating is extremely hard, dating men especially. I've gotten to the point where I would just get a few weeks in with a man and I catch a behavior and I cut it off. Because now I actually have a vetting process. Now I don't skip the red flags. Now I see the red flags, I hear them, and I'm like, I'm out. So my dating life for many, many years has not been much of a dating life because I am so willing or so not willing to experience discomfort and displeasure just to say that I'm with a man. I'm 37 years old, and just recently, I have experienced what it feels like to be validated in a relationship with a man. Like somebody telling me, I want to hear that you're upset with me. I want to hear those feelings. I want to hear those emotions. I don't want you to harbor any ill feelings. I want you to tell me when you're upset. That stunned me because I was like, oh, wow. Niggas could have been like this the whole time. Y'all, it stunned me. And I'm 37 and I've experienced that for the first time. I'm sorry, can we just pull over on that for a second? Y'all, I'm talking about the basics. And when I say the basics, I'm talking about this is my first time experiencing not being told that I am overreacting. This is my first time not being told that I'm too sensitive, that I'm argumentative, that I'm combative. Somebody who actually wants to hear, I feel this type of way, or I'm annoyed, or whatever little occurrence, no matter how big or small. The basics, y'all. Because like I said, I've been dumping these niggas for years. We get 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. 6 weeks, I think, was the most that I made it with a dude before I was like, nah, I'm good. That's really how it is out here. That's how it is dating. So I just want women to get okay with, if you are going to be in the dating game, you're going to be dumping a lot of niggas frequently. Or just not dating at all. And for a while, I was just like, fuck the bullshit. I'm not going through this. I don't know why this is the life that Kiana wants to settle for. At Watch What Happens Live a few weeks ago, Greg said that they were working on their engagement. We don't know what that means. I'm hoping that this is a blessing in disguise for Kiana. I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call. You got this ugly ass man on here talking to you crazy. It's just crazy to me that her tagline is, you know, I own a business, I stand on business. Yeah, girl, you stand on business with everybody except for this unsightly man. The fact that you can't see that this is pathetic, the fact that you brought this on TV is like, whoa, whoa. So then we have Stacy meeting up with Vivian at her boutique to coordinate these looks for Stacy's fashion show. So something that was interesting to me was Stacy sent out this invitation with her daughter Arabella, and at the beginning of the season she told us she doesn't really have Arabella around that many black women. She doesn't have that many black women friends. But I saw Miss Arabella in the invitation rolling her neck and doing this little hand movement, and my concern was she's connected with her white side. She doesn't know her black side. We want her to understand ebonics. We want her to know, understand black girl isms and black girl speak. She seemed fine to me. She was rolling that little neck. I said, okay, niece, go ahead, miss thing. Wendy and Ashley come in. Karen had sent Stacy a text letting her know that she won't be supporting the show. Wendy says the question you need to ask yourself is, do you support Karen when she needs you? Wendy, shut up. I don't even like the way she posed that. The question you need to ask yourself. Like you're chastising this woman. Who are you, Wendy? And girl, when did you and Karen form this whole big friendship? Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna get off of that. Anyway, Wendy is saying that Mia said disparaging things about Karen, and the first thing that should have came out of Stacy's mouth was a defense for Karen. Now we get a flashback where Stacy was clearly defending Karen against Mia and Giselle. She's like, why are you all going against Karen? Like, I don't understand what's happening. Giselle says it's more than that. She says that we all know Vivian because of Karen. Y'all have a relationship because of her, and she seems to have it in her head that Stacy should have gotten permission to work with Vivian first. And then Stacy is like, well, this is bogus, girl, because I've known Vivian longer than I've known Karen. My thing is, even if Karen did introduce Vivian to the rest of the girls, she doesn't need, as a grown-ass woman, to get permission from another woman to work with somebody. This is business. She doesn't need to give anybody a heads up about anything. If I introduce one of my friends to another friend, say I introduce Jade to Noah, okay? Noah is a photographer. They get up and they have a photo shoot. Why would Noah have to run that through me first? He doesn't need to tell me shit. He's not obligated to tell me that he's working with my friend that I introduced them. I introduced them. Maybe they are developing a friendship. And I have no control over that. And why would I want to? People are really territorial over other people in a very weird way. I don't know why Giselle and Karen have it in their kooky ass mangled up brains that Stacy needs to go through Karen to get permission, but whatever. Then Giselle says, oh, you didn't say to us that you would like for us to be walking on the runway holding an animal. Giselle, if it's an issue, you could just say you don't want to hold an animal. You can say you don't want to walk the fashion show. You're a grown woman. You can speak up for yourself. Much in the way that she decided not to speak up for herself when she was alone in the room and uncomfortable with Chris and waited a whole 6 months to tell everybody on camera that she was uncomfortable with this man. Okay, girl. Anyway, then she says, well, I didn't think that you were into charities because you didn't donate to mine. Girl, Stacy was expected to donate to your charity after you kicked her out. Giselle is unwell. She is unstable, okay? She doesn't have it all up here. I already told y'all Giselle is not a smart woman. Giselle's venom and vitriol towards Stacy is so completely unwarranted. The way she treats her, the way she acts towards her, I just don't understand it. Giselle knows that we think that she doesn't like darker women, and look how she's treating Stacy. She's never beaten the colorist allegations as far as I'm concerned, okay? And I won't hear anything else about it. Giselle says, you don't know if I'm allergic to dogs. I could have been bit by a dog. Wendy says that if she was a dog, she would have bit Giselle. Wendy, you would be sniffing her butt and you would be climbing her leg if you were a dog. So stop. Stacy says that she feels as though she is being reprimanded by this group. Stacy also says that Karen wants friends to just blindly follow her, and I think that she's absolutely correct. Next up, we have Wendy and Eddie. We learned that she landed the interview with Corinne Jean-Pierre, the first Black woman to hold this position of, press secretary. So shout out to her. Good on Wendy. Then we have Stacy and Mia meeting up in the next scene. Mia is saying that Gordon is having another spiral. She is literally lying on Gordon. Stacy told Mia that Karen told her that Mia is not Potomac. Stacy also says that Karen told her that she should not be friends with Wendy and that Wendy is completely self-absorbed and that she should never trust her and that she's only out for herself. This scene is juxtaposed by Wendy saying that she wants to take Karen to the White House with her. Now, apparently, Karen invited Wendy down to collect the key to the city when Surrey County gave her the key to the city. Stacy said that when she joined this group, that Karen wanted to poison her against Wendy, and I believe it 100%. Karen tried to get Candace fired once again. She said that Wendy didn't fit the aesthetic of Potomac, okay? We still don't know what that means. The only difference, really, is that she was educated and darker than the rest of y'all. So what are we saying here? But listen, I'm here for Stacy stirring up some drama. I mean, unfortunately, she had to use Mia to do it, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm here for Stacy shaking the table. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about this episode. You know I want to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I'll see y'all for the next one. Peace.
Come on. It's me, Al Grande, or call me Papi Chulito. Yo tengo mucho loving for you mommies if you legal. For honeys, nothing equal to the way I tap that spot. Get your cat hot, guess what? You hit the jackpot. Candlelight dinners for you winners. See, I'm like Don Juan, beat me, sweetie. I get in ya. Sugar, I'ma put you in a beautiful